There was a day I was going to I was going to the office. I was going to site, so I can't. I think I was going to the office. I was wearing like some jeans and like a white top, and like obviously I don't really wear makeup, and I always have braids on. That's probably what is more evident to me. Is like I look young. I'm not carrying like these big bags. I'm wearing heels and that kind of thing. I think that many times I've seen the look on people's faces when maybe they've come, people that are the vendors or the artisans. When they meet me in person, I can see the slight look of surprise on their face. Like, is this the person I'm calling Ma? Is this the madam I'm really answering to? At first, I thought to my engineer, and I told him to please call me like Ma. But when he started doing that, I was like, this is very uncomfortable. Just call me Demi, please, like, just call me Demi.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ezinne Zara, and today I am at the Key Garden Properties. This was not how we looked how long have we been on this? This has been a year and a half that we have been working on this, and my friend Demi has been building this property that we are looking at, a block of 12 flats, and I have been documenting it, and I'm so excited to show you guys what we've been doing together and also share her story with you, because I'm sure it will be very inspiring. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit the like button if you want to see more videos like this.
My name is Demi and I am a property developer. I spend my working days on site managing different artisans, tilers, people who do screeding works, my engineers, consultants, M&E. We screeded and we tiled, or at least from the first to the third floor. Once the tilers are done with that floor, we're going to come down and start to do all the maintenance work. There's a lot of like nooks and crannies and little things that need to be fixed. For me, that's where like the real work actually comes into play. Key Garden Properties is a property business that will, by God's grace, take up space, in a world as the first of its kind. I want to create a brand that has a name, that has a feel, that has a soul, a brand that people can relate with. And I'm trying to create affordable luxury, which some people might say doesn't make sense, but I strongly believe that everybody deserves a piece of luxury in their home. We'll be educating people about what you need to start doing now to ensure that you have good real estate literacy, that you can buy your first property or buy your first home by the time you are 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oftentimes, it's like, I don't have to think about real estate until I'm this age. So that's what we're trying to create with Key Garden Properties. I want to build, but I also want to educate people. I want to inform people. What I'm currently working on right now is a block of 12 flats. It's been an interesting journey. I mean, building anything in Lagos, Nigeria is quite interesting because there's so many logistic issues that come into play. I think the thing about properties that anybody can build, but where it actually matters is, can you sell? And so we actually sold our first property last year in April when there was literally nothing in sight. I mean, so I was really surprised because I don't have there's no validation. Nobody can say, oh, she's built this before. This is my first building. We've done really well. I'm really proud of myself and my team. Key Garden Properties is very functional. It's a very beautiful place to live in. I was very particular about certain things being done very, very well. I don't joke around with facility management. I don't joke around with excellence. That's a core part of who I am as a person and what I will eventually go on to create as a brand. If I see anything out of place, it has to be done again. It has to be done again.
I don't want to start with the floor now.
Have you gotten your contact? Because your lines are not straight. That line there is not straight.
We'll use filing machine to correct.
Okay.
I will still apply Genesis.
We'll apply Genesis here for you. The line still needs to be straight. I think when you walk into Key Garden Properties, you can see the potential. One of the people who I'm actually working with is a consultant on the project, is really trying to buy one of them. That for me sold it to me that actually what I'm building is quite beautiful because he's worked on it. He's seen it from the beginning until the end, right? And he has access to so many other properties because he is an engineer. So he helps a lot of people to build, but he wanted to buy mine. I wouldn't have Key Garden Properties the way that I do right now without help from my dad. I would literally go to sites when I was young and I would watch water, huge land spaces of water turn into beautiful communities and beautiful estates and beautiful spaces where people can live, and not just live but create a home and raise their family and walk around. My mom met one of her best friends in the estate that my dad developed. Watching that as a child gave me some sort of love and passion, and so I even decided to study real estate for my master's degree. I did my master's degree, I believe 3-4 years ago now at UCL, and I studied international real estate and planning because I knew that I wanted to work in property because of all that I had seen growing up. And how many of us know I don't know why I just said that. I sound like I'm preaching. How many of us believe that God put us into the families that we have for like a reason? So the fact that my dad has been in real estate for his whole life is not a coincidence. My dad saw me and he decided to give me a chance. And by God's grace, I've been able to build Key Gardens to a point where it can now stand, significantly by itself. There was a day I was going to the office. I was going to site, so I think I was going to the office actually. I was wearing like some jeans and like a white top, and like obviously I don't really wear makeup and I always have braids on. That's probably what is more evident to me. Is like I look young, I'm not carrying like these big bags and wearing heels and that kind of thing. I just look very casual. And so I think that many times I've seen the look on people's faces when maybe they've come, people that are the vendors or the artisans, when they meet me in person, I can see the slight look of surprise on their face, like, is this the person I'm calling Ma? Is this the madam I'm really answering to? By God's grace, and I pray for more humility, like I just want to get the job done, do what you're meant to be doing, and let's just move on. It doesn't really matter. Like at first I thought to my engineer, I told him to please call me like Ma. But when he started doing that, I was like, this is very uncomfortable. Just call me Demi, please, Like, just call me Demi. I think you realize that it's not really about the respect that other people give you per se. It's like knowing yourself, being confident in your skills, being confident in the fact that you have been placed here to get the job done and to get it done.
The kitchen is very small. Let's have a small stove over there. Your class in Carol. It's smart.
It's been a long journey. I still feel highly unqualified. I still have slight imposter syndrome. But my sister she inspires me. She's 27. She's the only one that I know who is a female property developer other than myself. But the fact that I have my sister as an example has definitely helped me a lot. But I think we definitely need more people in this space. Like if I saw maybe like 50, to 100 people doing what I'm doing, it would make it easier to accept for sure. I think my friends have helped me with the whole imposter syndrome situation. They support me. One of my friends in particular, Shanami, I think she resounds the idea that I am an entrepreneur and that I am building something that is of value. You can never hear stuff like that too much. It's been really, really, really valuable. And with property, one of the most difficult things about it is putting in work for long periods of time. And maybe people who are not as literate in real estate might be like, oh, you've been building this thing for like 1 year, 2 years, you're not done yet. But you can see the amount of work going into it on a day-to-day basis, right? And until everything comes together, people can't see that value the same way that you can. So I think having my friends on the journey, commending me, encouraging me, pushing me, telling me that actually you are amazing, sending them pictures of things and then being just as excited I am to see the little changes when I have my windows fitted, when I've done the tiling, even helping me to pick, okay, should I use this color, that color, has been invaluable. And I truly am so grateful to all of my friends.
Hi. Welcome. We're still finishing up the flat, but I'll show you around. It's beautiful. Oh my god.
There's so much to do. There's so many heights that I want to get to. So many things I want to achieve. I want Key Garden Properties to be a global brand, and I want to one day build in places like Dubai, places like the UK, and the fact that I get to dream these dreams, I think it's such a privilege to be able to dream and envision. And I look forward to driving down maybe 5 years from now, and I drive down to Key Garden Properties and I see people maybe somebody's getting out from the car, carrying their baby out of the car, and they're going upstairs. Maybe a neighbor met another neighbor and they became business partners. I'm looking forward to creating communities that people can connect in. I'm looking forward to creating spaces that people enjoy living in and can build their lives, in these spaces. If you think about it, your home is so important and so central to everything that we are as human beings. We come home from a day of work and we're looking forward to getting in our beds, watching a movie. We have conversations that change the course of our lives in our living rooms and our dining tables, right? And so being a part of people's stories in that sense, like I created the space that you are making these decisions in, or, making these moves in, means a lot to me. And so I think for me, that's what is the most exciting thing.
So when the bride comes up, this is also like a sitting area. And you can sit, and you're like talking to the person who's cooking, like, oh hey, how you doing and stuff, We decided to put this tables, doors here so that people can really see the beauty of the open plan kitchen.
I don't know how many of you who know Lawrence Oyor. I was watching a sermon that he was preaching, and he has a father, a dad who is quite a renowned teacher of the word. And he was trying to highlight the fact that growing up, with his dad who would sometimes bathe him or, run a bath for him or eat with him or feed him. He never really saw his dad as, he just saw his dad as his dad. But then when he got older and he started to become a minister himself, and there were so many ministers that he looked up to, and when he would meet those ministers that he was so inspired by, they would all be like, oh my God, I'm so inspired by your dad. Can you tell him that you saw me? Can you greet him for me? And he was thinking to himself, I'm so inspired. These are people that he would queue up to see, and these people wanted to see his dad. And he was thinking, well, it's just my dad. There's a tendency to be familiar with the people we have around us, our friends who are very business savvy, who are great accountants, our parents who to us are just our parents, but actually they hold the key to your next level. There's so much wisdom in them. There's so much grace in them to get you to where you're meant to be. Do not despise the people you have around you. Your friends are super skilled. They can help you to build that business. Your friend is a great artist. He can help you to develop that brand you've been trying to, that logo you've been trying to do for a while. Your friend is a great consultant. She can speak to you about that technical issue that you have or you've had for a long time. Don't despise the people you have around you. Ask God to open your eyes, to enlighten the eyes of your understanding so that you can actually see. But you can do anything, not anything that you want to do, but anything that God has called you to do. And I pray that this video inspires you to go and seek God about His will for your life, and that you will run after that will with everything you have once you know what it is.
My proudest moment is when I see people live in Key Gardens, because I think what I want to do is more create a community. It's all when I'm going to build something and for it to look nice, but I want people to enjoy it. I want it to be functional. I want people to call it home. So I think when I come and I see people that have furnished their homes and they're hanging around on the terrace and they're driving out to school, taking their kids to school, I will feel like I've created community for people to live in, and that would make me very proud.
There was somebody that I was speaking with a few days ago, and then they were just lamenting on how he has lost a lot of money, that I just changed dollar at 900 naira to $1 a few days ago, and before I know it, dollar is now 1.2. I've lost so much money. I've this and this and that. I just said, stop it. Number one, the economy of the world does not determine your wealth. I had to make him understand that you are above this. We have to have a consciousness that is beyond this world so that God can even entrust more into our hands. If you are complaining about the little money that you've lost now, what if God is sending billions to you and then it's like this one that any small thing, he almost breaks down because he has lost money? No, he can send $1 billion to you and tell you to give it to somebody. Will you not be crying that you've lost that money? But then we need to come up higher, and we need to make sure, as much as the world is trying to push its principles on us, we are to insist on the fact that we are here, but we don't belong here. So every principle of the world is beneath our feet. We are above it. We can command wealth and we can disperse wealth.